how to decide which path or stream of yoga is best for a person? What are the ways? So, first I would request student to let me know what do they feel. Farida or Vibha, what do you feel?
Sir, like I feel ki, according to our nature, if like one wants to act selflessly, they can go in Karma Yoga, or who is devoted to the Lord or the deity, they can perform Bhakti Yoga, or who is very much intellectual and much more interested in scriptures and all, they can perform Jnana Yoga. This is
Okay.
my
How about Raj Yoga?
Raja Yoga, who wants samadhi liberation, like on certain like wants to perform dharana, dhyana, the Stang Yoga, they can perform Raja Yoga.
Okay, okay. So Parida shared her views. She feels that it is based on the liking of a person, which path he likes, that we can decide. Vibha, you want to add anything or share anything else?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The liking of the person, nature of the person should be also taken into the account. If the person is ready to bear the vigor, or he would like to, or he is able to follow the path of Hatha Yoga to Raj Yoga, then you have to go into Hatha Yoga. If the person is more interested towards and able to perform the practices like meditation, he is able to feel that he is the word, or I am Atman, then he has to choose for Gnana Yoga. If he is able to devote himself, then he has to choose for Bhakti Yoga, and so on.
Okay, okay. So Vibha says that rather liking is one factor, but the person should have that capability, his nature, should be conducive to that particular path. It is here that the confusion lies. Many people come to me, they feel that they are confused, which path of yoga they should choose, because they like some path, they try to go into that path, but after some time they find it difficult. So when we want to understand the nature of a person, how can I introspect which aspects of my nature will actually connect me and help me find my path? This is the discussion. Anybody else from the people who are there? Oh, people are not able to unmute. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, Gandhi
Good
sir.
morning, sir. Good
Yes.
morning. Sir, what are the paths earlier also we discussed, like Raja Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Whatever we follow, whether you start with the Karma Yoga or with the Raja Yoga, ultimately all leads to the all four yogas will be ultimately will be attained. One who ends is self-realization. So, for example, if you start with the Bhakti Yoga, ultimately you will understand the in the Bhakti path. So you realize and surrender. When you surrender,
Gandhi sir,
so
the question
that is
is
the
how to decide which path is to be taken. We understood that. How
yes, yes.
does one decide which path is best for me?
So depending upon your situation, how you are placed, whether you wants to serve the people and do the Karma Yoga, your time enough, so you go for Karma Yoga. And so, or you want to seclude yourself and you want to do a Bhakti Yoga and forget other things. So you can go for Bhakti Yoga, and you do the literature studies, and you are very much attached to the yoga books and other Gnana and Sanskrit Vedas and all. You go for Gnana Yoga. So like that, they can choose according to their convenience.
Okay. So Gandhi sir feels that it is the environment and the convenience what is allowing you to do, that also affects it, and you can choose based on that. Sandhya ji, please. Yes.
Sir, good morning.
Okay.
So, as I understood, I cannot partition myself into any one of these yogas.
Oh.
Actually, we are into each of these yoga, like karma yoga, gnana yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga. It is actually practicing, we keep practicing karma yoga, gnana yoga, hand in hand out. As it is said, without gnana, karma has no meaning. Without karma, gnana has no meaning. These two goes hand in hand. Next comes bhakti yoga, where you start knowing much more than yourself. Then one has to say, yes, you are into Raja Yoga, where you are reaching people and supporting their emotions, or whatever we call the support system. So I feel it doesn't exist as an individual yoga by itself. So
Okay.
what I
Yes.
feel, it has to be it's happening at the same time, may not be, sometime it cannot be simultaneous, it has to be sequential, and we keep more rasterizing from here there. So finally we have to, by doing this, finally you will realize whether you are able to go reach well above what all other common people are there. So all these yogas do exist for any person same time.
Yes. Sandhya,
Thank you.
has brought in, a different viewpoint towards this. We have to understand that in Bhagavad Gita, there are different chapters describing different paths of yoga. So if you go by scriptures, if all paths were same, or if they were, not making any difference, then Krishna wouldn't have discussed step by step with Arjuna. See, I can go to Delhi. There are different modes. I can go by train. I can go by my own vehicle. I can fly to Delhi. So it is not that when I am going to fly to Delhi, I am not going to go in bus for a while or in my own vehicle for a while, but there is a predominant mode in which I am going to travel. So we say that I came to Delhi by flight. It doesn't mean that I didn't get into car or taxi, but predominantly I traveled in flight. So in that sense, different modes of travel, they come and go. But as far as the nature of the individual is concerned, he actually takes one predominant path. So there should be no confusion about it. Yes, they all four can exist, but there will be a predominant path, especially in the beginning. It is like there are four paths to go to the top of the mountain. The closer you come to the top, all the paths start coming closer. But as a beginner, when you say that everything is there, everything, then you will not be able to intensify your sadhana. It will remain very mild and you will remain confused. So therefore, as a beginner, we should try to analyze, introspect oneself and find out one's own strengths and choose one's path. This is what Krishna did with Arjuna also. He gave him one after another options, so that he can find which is the path which goes along with his nature, as well as which is something which is conducive for him, and is able to take him based on his condition faster towards his goal, especially in the beginning. So over that, Sandhya ji, I would disagree with you. Anybody else? Any other point? Shobhana ji, yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
I feel it is also related with our gunas. Each one of us is born with some gunas, rajas, tamas, sattvic. So I think these yoga paths are also related with that gunas. And very rarely we find people with sattvic gun. So bhakti yoga is a little difficult. So to start with, I feel the other streams of yoga, it can be a combination, but as you rightly said, some people get attracted to a particular stream of yoga and then a combination. And finally, maybe bhakti yoga is what I understand.
Shobhana ji, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we feel bhakti is very easy, but bhakti is difficult. I know, I understand. And bringing out this dimension, that guna, dominant guna of the individual also can be understood, because Rajasic people are always want to be active. They can move towards karma in the beginning. Very good point. Very good point. Okay, so let us see, what ancient texts have to say about it. So these are 4 paths of yoga. We all, have discussed about it. And you can see, in bhakti, the focus is on love for the divine and there is emotional connection. In Jnana Yoga, the focus is on self-enquiry and there is a philosophical understanding which the person craves for. In Raj Yoga, there is focus on mind control and the 8 limbs of yoga play a role there. Whereas in Karma Yoga, the focus is on duty and there is a component of fulfilling one's duty without attachment to the results. These are the essence. Now, if you look at, the epitomes, the people who reached that state using a particular path, there are several examples. And in those paths, we also see that Patanjali describes niyamas as the ways through which you can channelize your energy. So we see that there is Shaucha, means people who are very organized. They want to keep everything organized. These are the people who maintain, cleanliness within themselves, around the surrounding, and are able to systematically do the task in a step-by-step manner. Then Santosha are the people who can easily feel satisfied, do their duty, do not expect anything in result. So Shaucha and Santosha are first two niyamas. Then comes tapas. These are for the people who are more high in their willpower. And they can, focus all their energy towards understanding the mind, controlling the mind, and sacrificing. That these are the aspects of tapas. In Swadhyaya, intellect is very strong, where a person can ask deeper questions and do deeper self-inquiry. And in Ishwar Pranidhana, the person is pure in his emotions. His emotions are the strongest component of his personality. And in Bhakti Yoga, he learns the art of channelizing those emotions. So Shaucha and Santosha are karma based, Tapas is willpower based, Swadhyaya is intellect based, and Ishwar Pranidhana is emotion based. Now look at some examples, some people who have actually reached that kind of a state. We see Ramana Maharshi. What did Ramana Maharshi do? He is an example of a Jnana Yogi. His whole path was asking, who am I? Generally, we suffer asking ourselves, why am I? Why am I suffering? So Ramana Maharshi says, don't ask why me. Ask who is suffering. Who am I? I am not the body, I am not the mind, So who am I? Who is suffering? So asking deeper and deeper questions about self and existence. This is the path of a Jnana Yogi. He never stops questioning. And the questions in their nature, become deeper, deeper and more fundamental. That is the art here. It is not some kind of a intellectual kind of a amusement. It is a real, very serious questioning till you get the answer. We see Mahatma Gandhi. He wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita where he found Bhagavad Gita to be completely karma oriented, and spending every moment of life, not wasting even a single moment, a single resource. Very resourceful and knew how to channelize resources to their maximum potential. Selfless service, and the whole objective in Karma Yoga is uplift the society. So the work is done for social and universal welfare. It may be for the planet, it may be for the animals, it may be for the nature. So, and another aspect of Karma Yoga is that in that service, whether you succeed or you fail, it doesn't matter. You just keep on doing your duty. This is the essence, and the epitome of that, I feel, is Mahatma Gandhi. Swami Vivekananda, a Raj Yogi, a meditator, high in willpower, was able to conquer the mind through continuous abhyasa. Whatever Guru has told, I am going to do it, and was able to sacrifice everything for the sake of his journey. So that kind of a very strong determination and willpower is the characteristic of a Raj Yogi. Whereas on the other extreme, you see Mirabai, a Bhakti Yogini. They already accept their defeat in all the direction in the beginning itself. And seeing God in every being, Smarana is a very important characteristic here. Remembering God in every breath, singing praises, taking name of the God, and self-dissolution in the love of the God. So I feel that the path that we choose in the beginning is determined by how we have been doing that in our previous births as well, because there are certain ways in which we would have tackled our problems naturally. Say before that, the yamas also come here: shaucha, swadhyaya, tapa, and ishwar pranidhana. So Krishna, tells that one should follow one's own dharma, even if it is imperfect, than to do another's dharma, even if it is done perfectly. Because by doing one's innate duties or following one's own innate nature, one does not incur sin. And he describes, several characteristics of Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. Those are the qualities. Now, there is one way was based on the gunas. Another way is one can identify whether one is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or a Shudra. This is guna karma vibhaga. It was nobody's low, nobody's up. These are your nature. Who is a Brahmana? Brahmana is the one who can maintain tranquility, restraint, austerity, purity, patience, jnana vijnanam astikyam, wisdom and belief in scientific knowledge. If these are your intrinsic qualities, then you are a Brahmin. So a Brahmin will naturally be drawn towards jnana in the beginning, and then may, on the growth of that, on the path of that, he may start doing, may start moving towards Raj Yoga or Bhakti Yoga also later on. Similarly, a person who is Kshatriya, valor, strength, fortitude, skill in weaponry, and he never retreats from a battle. Those people who really care about the justice in society, they are the people who are karma oriented, and the path of karma yoga suits. Whereas there is another quality of a Vaishya. Vaishya are the people who are attached to agriculture, dairy farming, commerce, and money related matters. Those who do CA, accounting, and other things. Now these are the people who are also karma oriented, but there is a difference. The Kshatriya uses more of his motor organs for the karma, whereas Vaishya uses his brain. So a combination where you combine the aspect of karma and jnana, karma and bhakti, karma and you can say Raj Yoga. So Vaishyas, I feel they are more intellectually oriented, therefore karma plus Raj Yoga. They are more organized also. So systematic path of yoga practice and karma yoga, that suits Vaishya. Whereas the Kshatriyas, in my opinion, they care for society, they love for society. So they do karma yoga predominantly, but they also combine it with bhakti. So the question, if we want to really choose our path, the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how do we tackle stress? Generally from our childhood, from our school, college days, all of us have a certain way in which whenever we were under a demanding situation, we coped with it, we responded to it. Now, the way we respond is our strength. It means that is something that is ingrained in our genes, and we have been doing that in our previous lives also. So how do you tackle stress? Ask this question to yourself. In fact, I would request people to let me know in the chat box here, how do you do it? You can say D, E, K, or A. denial, practice, or sleep can be D or P. If you are a person who just diverted your mind and started practicing something, going for a walk, going for a jog, run, gym, then you are a person who is, we can say, following the practice path. Whereas if you are a person from your childhood, whenever you were stressed, you looked for your mom, your loved one, and wanted to tell the whole story, what happened in the school. Now, emotional expression to the closed ones. As soon as you are stressed, you remember your loved one and you want to call him and tell him. You can't wait. Then the path that goes is bhakti. Whereas some people tackle their stress by keeping busy in their profession. They become not only profession, in their work itself. When they work selflessly, they feel relieved. So the more stressed they are, the better they perform. And other people are, they isolate themselves and then think about it, analyze it. What did I say? What did the other person say? And then they will ponder upon, if when last time this happened, what did I do? Why would that person have spoken like this? What may be going on in the other person? So they analyze. They don't want to discuss it. They want to remain within themselves. They would alone go to a terrace or go for a walk and think. When they are stressed, they cannot be with people around. Yeah, so keeping busy, analysis, expression. We see people are writing their paths. So we have to identify that what is dominant in us. So based on these characteristics, you can identify, and then a person with Jnana Yoga, goes with the yoga of intellect, and second chapter of Bhagavad Gita is about that. Third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, end of second chapter, third and fourth chapter are about Karma Yoga. From 7th to 12th, you see Bhakti Yoga slowly coming up, and the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita is Dhyana Yoga or Raj Yoga. So therefore, you can select your path based on identifying your coping style, then identifying your personality type, then choosing which path of yoga to take, and then diverting your energies towards understanding that path of yoga so that you refine your natural coping strategies in a better way, adding yoga into that. In that way, you will become much more efficient and your natural strength will take you faster on that path of yoga. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you today. Please let me know your views about it. Thank you very much. Namaste.